Here's a breaking news, and it is politics. And everyone is talking about who's fake news and the liberal media and blah, 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 blah. Let's put this up, okay? Because this is the breaking news. A mole within Fox News, within Fox, sent the Trump camp all questions that he would be getting at a Bret Baier and Martha MacCallum town hall in January of 2024. Let's see what the MAGA folks have to say about this. Okay, MAGA? Fake news. You guys give answers. He knows what the liberal media is going to say. Allowing him to workshop his answers ahead of time, including his "I'm not going to have time for retribution" line. And I believe this reporting is, I think it's according to Politico. Is that correct? Andy and Peter, let me know. I believe this is according to a Politico report. Again, it is up on your screen. Look at it. It's according to, well, the photograph is from CNN, Peter. Perhaps the reporting is from, but I believe the photograph in the picture is from CNN. The reporter is a Politico reporter. I just want to double check just to make sure that I get the reporting correct, because we like to be accurate on this program. So, again, that is the breaking news. Now, how do you feel about that? Folks who are MAGA folks who are in the chat. How do you feel about that? A mole within Fox, the reporting is CNN. A mole within Fox sent the Trump camp all questions that he would be getting at a Bret Baier and Martha MacCallum town hall. How do you feel about that? Do you think that that somehow affected their election? Do you feel that that somehow affected the election? There's also from The Independent, which we love here on this program because they are independent. As it goes, the Trump campaign was handed questions in advance of a Fox News town hall in Iowa in January of last year. That's according to a new book. It's according to a new book, and it's Politico's. Peter, I don't believe that it's CNN's reporting. It's according to a new book. They may have reported it, but it's not their reporting. Politico's Alex Isenstadt writes in Revenge, the inside story of Trump's return to power, that many of the president-elect's advisors did not want him to show up at the event moderated by Bret Baier and Martha MacCallum. Maybe you're correct, Peter. Stand by. They were still peeved at Fox, whose coverage they continued to find antagonistic and did not want the former president to do the primetime event. According to excerpts that were shared. Okay, they shared the excerpts. But this is the Politico Alex Isenstadt's book. But Trump had a good relationship with Bret Baier. They were golf buddies. And they wanted to do a sit-down, Isenstadt added. Both Baier and MacCallum were known to press the former president harder than other Fox hosts. Trump aides told the former president that they would push him to distance himself from political violence and ask him about any political plans for retribution. The former president wasn't taking prep for the telecast seriously. He'd basically be winging it, but was then allegedly given a huge helping hand. How do you feel about that, MAGA folks? Your guy who is supposed to be the smartest and sharper than Joe Biden needed a helping hand from his favorite folks, a favorable platform. Nobody gave Kamala Harris any questions for her town halls or debates. No one gave her any questions. She didn't have time to workshop her answers. But Donald Trump did. from the same folks who had to pay out millions upon millions of dollars because of a Dominion voter story that perpetrated a fraud on the American people. Linda Ferker says it doesn't surprise her. Does it surprise you? What do you guys think about that? And I want to hear from the MAGA trolls that are in the chat. How do you feel about that? Are you okay with your dear leader? The leader of the MAGA cult being given answers? Are you okay with that? About 30 minutes before the town hall was due to start, a senior aide started getting text messages from a person on the inside at Fox. Holy shit, the team thought, Isenstadt writes. There were images of all the questions Trump would be asked and planned follow-ups down to the exact wording. Down to the exact wording. Jackpot. This was like a student getting a peek at the test before the exam started. Again, if you're just joining us, the breaking news. Fox News, according to this reporting, Alan Isenstadt of Politico, a book, also being shared by CNN, that Donald Trump got the answers before a Fox News town hall, a mole within Fox. The reporting said, this is the reporter and the writer from Politico in a book. A mole within Fox sent the Trump camp all questions that he would be getting at a Brett Baer and Martha McCallum town hall in January 2024, allowing him to workshop his answers ahead of time, including his "I'm not going to have time for retribution" line. Anyone? Is it okay? Is this okay with you that someone was given the answers to the test before? That the people who decry and whine about DEI and people having an advantage, minority people usually, black people, and sometimes women, but mostly black people, they get upset because they think that they have a leg up because they are somehow, because of diversity, equity, and inclusion, or because of affirmative action. But it's okay for your guy who has every single privilege in the world, wealth, Ivy League schools, legacy admissions into universities, all of those things. It's okay. Let's see what the folks who were so ticked off about the university presidents, let's see what they say about this. Let's see if they're okay with this. Are you okay with this diversity, equity, and inclusion play? This unfair, according to you, this unfair treatment? Salma Beno says, no, that's cheating. Yeah, this is cheating. It's not, it's diversity, equity, and inclusion for their terms, right? They believe that this is how it works, that people are cheating for doing this. Jane R says, no, it's not okay. But will the media be outraged? The media may be outraged, but will folks be outraged? Amber Devon, or Amber Devon, that's cheating, which Trump has done his entire life. Pathetic. He has done his entire life. Cheating people out of things. Reportedly, allegedly. Because, he is very litigious. Fox News planned to ask Trump if he would divest from his businesses if he won, and whether the party was taking a risk nominating him given his indictments. He had time to workshop that. Okay, let's see, how do we answer that? Let's feed him some answers. They're going to ask you this, sir. Do you remember the outrage years ago? Because someone during a CNN, I think it was a town hall or something, debate, gave someone the subjects, not the exact questions, but the subjects that they would be covering, and people got pissed off. Which is really not that unordinary. If someone calls and says, Don, what are you going to be asking? Whatever. I can't give you the exact questions, but I'll tell you, we're going to talk about the economy. We're going to talk about insurance. You got the wildfires going on in California, so we'll discuss that. We're going to discuss no politics at the Grammys. I'm just coming up with things. We're going to talk about democracy. We'll talk about the indictments, and because that's obviously in the news, and we have to discuss that. So those are the subjects that we're going to discuss. Fair enough that we can tell you that. It's obvious. That's what's in the zeitgeist. That's the news. That's news of the day that's happening right now. But we cannot give you questions. Okay? Thank you very much. That's it. That's perfectly allowable. But folks were all upset about that. But he's given the exact question down to the wording. They would also ask if he would disavow political violence and if his administration would be focused on retribution. Trump was pissed, according to Isenstadt. The former president thought the questions were like attacks designed to put him on the defensive. The Trump team began working on possible answers. Attacks? Anytime Donald Trump is treated fairly, anytime he is treated like any other citizen of the United States would be treated, any other interview subject, if he doesn't like the answer and if it's not favorable to him, the same thing with the MAGA folks, then they see it as an attack. Thank you, Simi. Because of your generosity, Simi, 10 people have the opportunity to become members of the Lemon Nation, to become Lemonheads. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So enjoy it, and congratulations. Anytime MAGA folks see that their dear leader or anyone is treated like any other normal citizen, they lose their minds. So I want to know from you guys, do you think it is fair? Do you think it is fair for Donald Trump to get answers, for the MAGA folks to make excuses? That he's able to work on answers that will affect an election. Is this election interference? Should Fox News pay the consequences? Should Donald Trump and his team pay the consequences for not alerting people? Isenstadt told CNN that the reporting was based on multiple people with direct knowledge of what took place. Meanwhile, a Fox spokesperson told the network that while we do not have any evidence of this occurring, and Alex Isenstadt has conveniently refused to release the images for fact-checking, we take these matters very seriously and plan to investigate should there prove to be a breach within the network. Spokesman also said that it would be inaccurate to call Bear and Trump golf buddies, as they have only played together a small number of times during the last decade they played together. Stephen Chung, the incoming White House communications director, told the network that President Trump was the most accessible and transparent candidate in American history, and it is a big reason why he won in historic fashion. Also, some other juicy things in here. He considered choosing Maria Bartiromo as his head of communications. Wow. Woohoo! To be running his running mate, not his head of communications, his running mate before he was talked out of the idea. So what do you think? Is this unfair treatment? Is this diversity, equity, and inclusion? Is it cheating? Should they pay the consequences? Is it election interference? Is it hypocrisy? Let me know. I want you guys to know in the comments. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.